Hi, welcome to my channel, My Great Wall of Manga. I'm Amanda, and I've been in love with manga for well over a decade. In fact, I even built a wall out of it. On this channel, I'll be pulling a series off the wall at random, and we'll go over a quick summary, introduce you to some of the main characters of the series, and I'll give you 5 reasons why you should read this manga. Okay, in this episode, we're going to be looking at the manga Skip Beat by Yoshiki Nakamura, and the story is about Kyoko, who drops out of high school and moves from the countryside to the big city to support her childhood friend, Sho, who she has a huge crush on, and he's trying to pursue a career as a rock star. Kyoko is holding down multiple jobs and kind of working herself to death, all to support Sho. She's paying for everything. Paying for his luxury condo, paying for his clothes, his bills, his food, everything. But she thinks this is okay because she sees it as she's living the dream with her prince. Well, one day after Sho throws a hissy fit and storms out of the condo, Kyoko thinks that she is going to surprise him at his studio with some fast food from the restaurant where she works. So she's going to sneak in as a food delivery person and bring him lunch. While it works, she gets to sneak into the studio, and she hears Sho talking before she sees him. It ends up that he's talking to his manager, agent / girlfriend. And his girlfriend is trying to tell Sho that he needs to just let her go, let her live her life. It's wrong that she is working so hard to support him when he doesn't even need it. He's successful now, and she doesn't need to be spending all of her life and money on him. Well, Sho has a different opinion. He sees Kyoko as just his maid, and the only thing she's good for is serving him. Needless to say, Kyoko was a little upset when she heard that. And so, not only does she throw the lunch she brought for him at him, she kind of trashes the whole room with it. And she starts yelling at Sho about how she is going to get her revenge. Well, it ends up you can't yell and throw things at celebrities because the building security shows up pretty quick to haul her away. Of course, Kyoko is yelling that she's going to get her revenge as she's being dragged away. And Sho, being the minor villain that he is, just kind of bragged that she can't do anything to him. He's a celebrity now. And he says that if she wants to get her revenge, she's going to have to go into show business. She decides that that's exactly what she's going to do. She gets rid of the overpriced condo and cancels all the bills she was paying for Sho and spends the money to get a makeover. And after her makeover, she goes to the biggest talent agency that isn't catering to Sho, and she asks to become a celebrity. And a manager sees her and asks her if she wants to be a singer, and she says no. And he asks if she wants to be an actress, and she says no. And he asks if she wants to be a comedian, and she's like, no, not really interested in that either. She just wants to be a celebrity. So he thinks she's a nut, and he has her escorted out of the building. Well, Kyoko isn't about to just give up, so she decides that the best way to get into the talent agency is via stalking the poor defenseless manager. So he leaves the building, and there she is lurking around a corner. He hops in a cab, and she tails him. He goes home, and there she is, ringing the doorbell, tapping on his window. She will not let him go. And so eventually he relents and tells her about an audition that isn't for a specific TV show or a movie. It's just an audition to get into the talent agency. And so she goes to the audition. She definitely sticks out because she doesn't look like a celebrity at all. And the first round of the audition, everyone is supposed to show their talent. One lady, who already was pretty nasty to Kyoko, her talent was being able to read any script and immediately memorize the lines. Very useful. Kyoko's talent was radish carving. Very surprising. Maybe not very useful for being a celebrity. The next round of the audition was listening to a voice over a phone and then reacting realistically to it. Everybody else smiled or cried or looked sad. When Kyoko was handed the phone and listened to it, what she heard was somebody apologizing after cheating on their girlfriend. After what Kyoko's just been through, she didn't take that very well. Needless to say, she didn't pass. But it's not the end. Later in the chapter, the president, who was very disappointed with Kyoko's performance, is looking over her resume again and is reconsidering. And she does become a celebrity of sorts. Okay, let's get into the characters. First up is Kyoko. She's a very energetic, over-the-top, and kind of obsessive person. When she decides to do something, nothing gets in her way. If she has to wear a chicken suit, if she has to carve a radish, it does not matter. She will do it. Next up is Shotaro. Shotaro is almost comical how villainous he is. He's very scheming, very underhanded, very womanizing. Throughout the series, he seems to go through a lot of girlfriends. Whatever project he's working on, whatever set he's on, if there is any female on the set, he's going to be flirting with her. And he definitely has a princely point of view. He believes that everyone is beneath him and they should be serving him in some way. Next up is Ren Saruga. Ren Saruga is the top male celebrity in Japan, and he takes his career very seriously. He's very focused on his acting, and he always wants to do his best. He's also known as being very gentlemanly. Of course, not so much to Kyoko. Kyoko definitely rubs him the wrong way, because she's just in it for revenge, and she doesn't really care about acting. And so he can be very harsh with her. Next up is Kyoko's friend, eventually, Kanae Kotonami. Now, she's the actress that was super rude to Kyoko at the auditions. But eventually they work together and become friends. Mainly because Kyoko really, really wanted a friend, and Kanae just kind of gave up because, like I mentioned before, Kyoko is very determined when she wants something. 5 reasons why you should read the Skip Beat manga. It's a very funny revenge story. Revenge stories have been kind of popular recently with, like, The Remarried Empress. This is definitely not a dramatic revenge story. This is absolutely 100% a comedy, and it is super funny. Number 2, the characters have a surprising amount of depth for a comedy. Throughout the series, quite a bit of character development happens for Kyoko and Ren Saruga. Not so much for Shotaro. It takes a while for the details to actually come out about their background, but when they do, it really does explain a lot about why their personality is the way it is, and why they tend to have certain points of view. Number 3, it is a nice long series. Like, there's quite a few volumes in this series. And so, if you like a series that you can work on for a long time, this is it. Number 4, Kyoko's imagination. Though the situations Kyoko manages to get herself into are pretty darn funny, her imagination and her reactions to these situations are hilarious. She has an amazingly grim and villainous way of looking at things, where honestly, if she was in a fantasy novel, she would definitely be the comedic villain. And number 5, behind the scenes of actors' lives and kind of the inner workings of the way TV shows are made in Japan has a lot to do with the subplots of this series. So if you're kind of interested in the acting world and TV show production and celebrities in Asia, I think this is a really good manga to kind of give that same feel, even if it's not completely realistic all the time. Okay, and that is it for my review of Skip Beat. Thank you for visiting my channel, My Great Wall of Manga. If you're interested in anime too, please visit my website, animehanabi.com.